Welcome on in, all my sourdough squadians. How are we doing today on this beautiful Friday? We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We got injury reports. We got some special announcements from this ginger beard coming up. So make sure you don't miss those. And it is calm before the storm, baby. Love to see it. Smash that like button. Let's get into it. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Let's go, SDS. We see the squad in here already. Dropping all the bread emojis you love to see. The sourdough squad rising to the top as it becomes Friday. Friday means the weekend is coming. The weekend means 49ers football is on its way. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have 49ers football. We're going to have a whole bunch of squirrels loading on this episode as well. We got some announcements. We're going to talk about injury designations. We're going to talk about all that type of stuff. But of course, we got to shout out all the SDS ready to go. Oh, we're calling Victory Friday. I love to see it. Love to see it. We're going to get into the Kittle. Kittle is the big injury news of the day. We'll start right away with that. Make sure we say what's good to all the sourdoughs. What's good, Nico? Oh, Toko SDS. Repping for all the poly boys. We see you. We see the squad. Again, 5th day without caffeine. I'm struggling a little bit. So I'm going to need y'all to pick me up in the chat. I'm going to need y'all to pick me up in the chat because I'm struggling. I've had caffeine in 5 days. Oh, Lord. SDS is deep today. You love to see it. I want to say what's good to all the squad. Look at all the Brad gang. It's a vibe. We're a vibe. You know what that means. Season's almost here. Let's go. Let's talk a little bit of George Kittle, shall we? So, we've heard from Kyle Shanahan twice today. Kyle went on KMBR earlier this morning. He talked a little bit about George Kittle. He just got off the press conference with the media. And I'm sure a lot of you guys were in there as well, watching Coach George Kittle is questionable, which is a good sign because I think we all would have thought at this point, based on George Kittle not practicing for 3 days in a row, typically would kind of land in the doubtful category. But right now, George Kittle is listed as questionable on the official injury report, which leaves a little bit of optimism. But tempered optimism. Typically, you don't see guys miss 3 practices in a week and show up on game days. However, this is George Kittle, so I wouldn't put it past him. And especially with all the conversation that has swirled around George Kittle amongst the fan base, hearing that he's been injured, I could see there being a little extra motivation to get on that field, but we'll see how it ultimately plays out. If he doesn't go, we understand. You're going to probably see a lot of Tyler Kroft, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly. Either way, I think it's a good situation for the 49ers. What do you guys think? Because we got Mr. No Name right here in the chat saying just sit him. Do you think it would be wise to play it safe with George heading into week 1, suffering the groin strain? Again, we heard earlier in the week from Pro Football Network that it is a grade 2 groin strain. So would you risk putting Gregory out there against the Bears, or do you think it would be wise to let George rest the groin, get him prepared and ready to go for the home opener week 2. I feel pretty confident whether if George does and the team decides to sit him down this week, I think we're going to be okay. Again, you're always going to want George Kittle out on that field, 100%. You want George out there. He's a vocal leader. He's He's like the Energizer Bunny out there, and we already know what he does for this team. But if he's not 100%, let's not risk it. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. The Chicago Bears offer a favorable matchup for the 49ers. Let's not risk it. If he's going to have to sit, that's okay. I'm okay with that. If that raises the probability percentage for him to return against the Seattle Seahawks, I am okay with that. So the sky is not falling. If George Kittle does not play today, I think that's going to be all right. What say you in the chat? So far, early, see a lot of rest. Don't risk it. Let the man chill. We have sticky hands dwelly. We have a really good contingency plan. If he is not going to go, getting a lot of rest, definitely don't risk it. Let the man rest. Yes. So if it does come out that George Kittle is not active week 1 against the Bears, I think we're okay with that. We don't want to risk further injury. We don't want to turn that stage 2 into a stage 3 because he's going out on the field at 75%, which players do a lot. But I would be okay if they decided to shut it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be okay. Other than that, no real other injury concerns. George, really, you have Daniel Brunskill, who is out. But again, that's not really been a surprise. So Daniel Brunskill will not be available for this game. So it does appear that your starting offensive line against the Bears is going to be Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, and Mike McGlinchey. The good news there, Mike McGlinchey is coming back and getting the start. He's healthy enough to play against the Bears. This is the offensive line that I feel okay with right now. And let Brunskill get up to speed, whatever he needs to do. I'm sure there's going to be an opportunity where he's going to be relied on quite a bit. This just in from David Lombardi of The Athletic. He's speaking to George Kittle right now in the locker room. George Kittle just said he's feeling significantly better with his groin injury than he did earlier in the week and will do everything he can to play versus the Bears. So that's a good sign. So the fact that George Kittle right now is saying he's feeling significantly better than he did earlier in the week is definitely a positive sign in the right direction. But again, don't risk it, baby. If it's not feeling right, if it's not feeling good, let's not risk it. We want you for the long haul. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. DJ Tiny says, how do you think the better blocking bureau? I like that. I like that a lot. The better blocking bureau of Banks, Burford, and Brendel will fare over under 2 sacks. I'm going to smash. I'm just going to smash the over because I could see 3 sacks. I mean, I think it's really close. I think there's going to be maybe a little bit of pressure, but I think overall they're going to do pretty well. And I don't think if the 49ers gave up 3 sacks, I think that would be okay. 2 sacks would be, I think, a good day in the office. And of course, anything lower than that would be fantastic. Because if we looked at yesterday's game against the Rams, oh my goodness, the Rams got eaten alive by the Buffalo Bills defensive line. They did not blitz one single play and had over 6 sacks on the day. The Rams offensive line looks disgusting, and I'm all for it. Last night was a blast. I had so much fun watching Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills absolutely punch the Rams in the face at Levi's South in front of the entire world to see. It was a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed it. And the whole time, again, we were talking about it yesterday. We're like, "Oh, let's scout the Rams tonight." The scouting report says the 49ers defensive line is absolutely going to demolish the Rams. Note boom, RIP, my boy. You are going to have a long day in the office when Nick Bosa, Samson Ebukam, Charles Omenihu, Kerry Hyder, Drake Jackson. Doesn't matter. It is going to be a long day in the office for those boys up front. And of course, shout out the Rams. They are currently holding down last place in the NFC West, and we really do love to see it. I'm not going to lie. I really don't like the Rams, and I think watching the game last night really made that clear to me of how much I don't like the Rams and how much joy I took away from just watching them getting beat down by the Bills. I mean, you know what? I think historically, I really don't like the Seahawks. You know, the Cardinals, they just annoy me more than anything else. I don't like Seattle. I don't like the 12s. They they just piss me off. But I've realized I think I really don't like the Rams. Like I just was so happy about everything that was going down. So watching last night occur after the again, I'm a little bitter, petty boys, hashtag petty boys. Uh Still a little petty based on the way last year finished, but my goodness, couldn't have been happier with the outcome because when the 49ers invite the Rams into Levi's Stadium week 4, that defensive line is going to go crazy. And I'm really looking forward to it. Stafford didn't look great. We didn't even see Cam Akers. It was Cooper Cup versus the world. They literally didn't have anything else other than that offered a much of a threat of anything. So watching that game against the Rams made me feel a whole lot better about where the 49ers stand in this in this division, because we know the San Francisco 49ers are absolutely stacked with talent. They might have some inexperience on the interior offensive line. They might have a new quarterback and things like that, but we know that defense is for real. And you could probably measure them a little bit with the Bills. I would say the 49ers defense, even after watching the Bills last night, is better. You got Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw on the interior, Nick Bosa, best linebacking core in the NFL, hands down, not even close. No disrespect to the Bills. The Bills didn't even have their starting superstar cornerback out there, and Tre'Davious White. The 49ers are going to be bringing out Money Mooney and E-Man. Like, I feel pretty dang good about the way, again, it's week 1, so things can change quickly. Uh, I want to give them the first couple weeks, but my goodness, it was so much fun to watch this. Like all my homies loved the Bills last night. We lived vicariously through the Bills because I think we've all just been kind of sitting on that loss in the NFC Championship. We know we should have been in the Super Bowl. We know we should have been there. That should have been our ring. We should have went to the Super Bowl. We understand why we didn't go to the Super Bowl, which ultimately lands on, when I say the 49ers responsibilities to get the job done and execute. But gosh, I still should have been us. But hey, that's our fault for not getting there. But I can't lie. Watching stuff like this, I was loving it. Jalen Ramsey getting absolutely cooked. I am a sucker for Jalen Ramsey getting cooked. Jalen talks so much trash. Jalen talks so much trash about Josh Allen. Oh boy. Karma. Whoo. I mean, it was funny kind of watching the Rams fan trying to console themselves like, we won the Super Bowl last year. Like, it's okay. Like, we won the Super Bowl. It's okay. Like, yeah, nah, you guys are going through it. It's all good. It's all good. I don't feel any sympathy. But that was fun. That was fun. It got me so hyped. It got me so hyped and ready for this season. I'm so looking forward to it. I really am. I'm so looking forward to it. Really quickly, before we kind of move into our next topic, because I do want to talk about the way Kyle Shanahan talked about the whole, like, clearly there's like a captain's debate that I think has kind of stirred up the last couple days. So we'll get into his comments on that. But I do have two announcements for today. First announcement. I will be partnering and I will be a weekly guest on Cron 4 in San Francisco Bay Area. So you will see this ginger beard on Cron 4 every week to discuss San Francisco 49ers with my guy, Jason Dumas, who is the sports anchor over there at Cron 4. So I will be, you're going to see this face on the news a little bit more. So for all 17 weeks of this season, and we'll see how far it goes into the playoffs, I will be hopping on Cron 4 after the game to break it down and talk 49ers football. So really looking forward to that. That's going to be a ton of fun. So appreciate my guy Jason over there. So definitely looking for. It's crazy. I definitely don't got a face for TV. I don't know why they're putting this ginger beard on TV, but hey, man, appreciate them bringing me on. It's a really cool opportunity, and definitely looking forward to that. It's really fun, man. I've been humbled this off season. You know, I couldn't. I'll be honest with you. There's so much going on right now for me personally in my personal life and all this. I had to turn some stuff down that I really wanted to do, and that were really great opportunities. But you know, there's just there's a lot going on. But I do want to thank everyone, you know, who has shown that interest. Hopefully, there's continued partnerships in the future. But I am excited. Looking forward to hopping on Cron 4 every week this season. I'm also pretty excited about this next opportunity. You know, as you guys know, right? Hey, what do we do here? We talk about the San Francisco 49ers. We cover the 49ers, and I have been given the opportunity to partner and collaborate with the San Francisco 49ers. So I will actually be hosting a live event through the 49ers platform, everything by the 49ers in collaboration with the 49ers. So this will be, I believe, on Tuesday. I'll sure up the information. But I will be collaborating with the 49ers. We'll be doing just kind of like this vibe, right? Like, you know how we do our vibe here? We're going to be doing this vibe, though, through the 49ers platform. So, again, super appreciative of all the people over there at the 49ers who continue to support me and show me love constantly and giving me this opportunity to host a live event backed by the 49ers. So super dope. You know, I mean, look at this. Look at this. I think you get one of these if you sign up for the supporters club, but you know, I'm official, man. They got me in the locker room, bro. Right there in the middle. Right in between Kittle and Warner, baby. They got me right there in between Kittle and Warner. You love to see it. But I'm super excited about that, man. Going to be able to do some exclusive content for the San Francisco 49ers. So really looking forward to that. Of course, this is going to be through the Supporters Club. So if you do sign up for the Supporters Club, they send you a bunch of cool stuff. You get like this like sick little card with like all these different activations, and you get a whole bunch of cool stuff, man. Like shout out the 49ers. But definitely looking forward to that. So this is, again, it's just a step in the right direction. But I do appreciate all the people at the 49ers who show me love on a consistent basis. Like, really cannot thank them enough. I can't thank, and of course, I can't thank you guys enough, because without your guys' support, I'm just some ginger talking into a microphone. So I appreciate you guys. I see you guys all in the chat hyping me up. You guys are the best, man. Shout out to SDS. I appreciate you guys so freaking much. But this is just the beginning, right? We talk about this a lot. You know, last year was the test run. You guys remember I was trying all different types of things. Like I was like trying to figure out like what this YouTube thing was, like we live streaming the entire game. Like, what are we doing? I got banned because I had a game behind me in a live stream. Like, we were doing all different kinds of crazy stuff, trying to figure out how to make all this work. Is my first real time like putting my face on like in front of the brand. I'm always a kind of behind the scenes kind of guy, but it has been really cool to see everyone kind of show love, and I really do appreciate it. Shout out my guy Jason, says amazing accolade. What a moment. Have a beer on me, my friend. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, man. Shout out all the SDS. SoCal Niner fan says, don't forget about us. How could I ever forget about the SDS? The SDS will live on far beyond me. So I could absolutely never, but appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate the support. It's been a blast. So looking forward to it, man. And hopefully it's just the beginning. Hopefully it's just the beginning of what we got cooking. So definitely looking forward to it all. Jay Tan says, Brad, will you be next to Sourdough Sam? Man, I hope so. I want to see Dad, man. I hope Dad's there. But I'll give you guys more information on like how we can link, because it would be really cool to have the SDS kind of in the chat. You guys could be asking questions. It could literally doing everything we do here. We're just going to be like, oh, we're just doing it on the 49ers website. What? Oh, no big deal. No big deal. So we could be bringing the SDS. Like, I'll be able to answer questions from you guys. So it'll be dope, man. It'll be dope. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. But let's get back. Enough about me. Shout out to all you guys. Enough about me. Let's get into some more about the San Francisco 49ers, shall we? Let's get into what Kyle Juszczyk. Not Kyle. Wrong Kyle. Let's get into what Kyle Shanahan talked about today with in regards to this kind of captain's conversation, because we haven't really talked about it. I had put out like a post about like Trey Lance not getting named captain, saying that I would have loved to see Trey Lance get a captain, but that was literally all I said. And apparently it's still kind of going. And apparently, you have Bears podcasters using the fact that the 49ers didn't make Trey Lance a captain as like a sign that the 49ers do not believe in Trey Lance. So I loved Kyle's answer in regard to it. So I just want to share it with you. So you can all hear everything that's going down. Let's see here. Let me get it pulled up. Let's listen to Kyle talk about the situation with the captains, and let me know if you can hear everything.
It's 10 a.m. on KBR 104.5 and 680. Looking forward to it very much. All right, here's one for you, Kyle, that's going to probably rankle you a little bit. But we just had a Bears podcaster on, Corey Wooten, who used to play in the league. And he, of course, predicted a Bears win, him being a Bears podcaster, right? And he said, the reason is, he said that Justin Fields is going to outplay Trey Lance. And he said, you can see it from the outside. The Niners didn't make Trey a captain. They reworked Jimmy's contract to keep him on the roster. He said they don't have faith in Trey Lance. When you hear noise like that, how does that affect you?
Zero. That sounds like a fan talking and someone who really doesn't know what they're talking about. So, and not to insult a fan or anything, but there just wasn't anything substantial right there. That's just reading headlines and trying to make that into a football opinion. Can
you see how people think on the outside that you don't have faith? Like there hasn't been, the reworking of Jimmy and the captaincy issue all makes you think they rub your chin a little bit. Is there anything for us to rub our chins about in terms of Trey's, the faith you have in Trey?
Guys, this is Trey's first year starting for us. We were letting it go a $24 million starting quarterback to do that. We got him back for a backup price. I don't think that has to do with not having faith in your starter. That never would have happened if it just didn't come to fruition there. I mean, we were very fortunate that happened. So we obviously were willing to go a different direction, and we ended up having something fall into our lap. And the whole captain vote is kind of a joke to me. Bosa finally got enough votes to get up to number 6, and look at those 6 people in front of Trey. I think they were all pretty worthy of that vote, and just to give it to a guy in his first year just because he's a quarterback, the only reason we would have done that is to avoid questions and articles, and that's really not what we do. We try to do what the team votes for, and if I would have guessed the votes, I would have guessed he would have been right where he was at. So I got really no problem with it all.
I love what Kyle said there. I think he did a good job of addressing the conversation, discussing why, how the Jimmy Garoppolo situation is kind of outside that, right? Like they were able to completely reconstruct his deal, get a starting caliber quarterback back onto the roster for $6.5 million. Not only that, it's just a good fit. Clearly, it made sense for both parties to happen. In regards to the captain situation, when I had put out the tweet that I was like, yeah, I would love to see, and Kyle said it too. I said, I would love to see Trey Lance be the captain. The reason why I would love to see Trey Lance be the captain is because it would quiet a lot of people. It would just force a lot of people who are doing this about the Jimmy and Trey stuff. It would just kind of quiet it. But I also said, and I threaded the tweet, that, captain's patches are earned. So if he doesn't get it, I don't think it's a negative, because has Trey Lance really earned being a captain? Again, look at Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa just got the captain's patch. And I think we all agree, and we don't look at Nick Bosa as a vocal leader, but my goodness, you don't have to be a vocal leader to be a leader. You lead by example. And Nick Bosa is the epitome of leading by example, doing everything that you need to do to get your body right, get your technique right, and just be a master of your craft. Jimmy Ward took a lot of time. Eric Armstead took a lot of time. So that was the point that I was making. I would love to see Trey Lance be a captain just to shut everyone up. But also on the flip side of that, captain's patches are earned. So if he doesn't get it, I don't view it as a negative. I just view it as I would love to see him get it and just quiet everyone, just like Kyle talked about. He said if we were interested in that, if we wanted to do that, if we didn't want articles to be written and things to be said in the media, then we would have gave him the captain's patch. But that's not what we do here. You earn it. The captain patch means something. And I'm perfectly fine with that. And then you had Trey Lance come out and say at the end, when he was talking to the media, he said, that's a goal of mine. I want to earn that. That's something. And you look at these other guys that are in front of me, they're all extremely deserving of being a captain. I want to earn that. That's a goal of mine, and it's going to be continue to be a goal of mine. So I really do. I like the way Trey Lance handled it. I like the way Kyle handled it. It makes sense to me. I don't know. It doesn't have to be this great, decisive, divisive topic because Trey Lance wasn't named captain in his first season as a starter. Because let's face it, got to prove it. Got to prove it. And I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. I think Justin Fields wasn't a captain last year. He went in for sure as the starter. Oh no, wait. That was the Andy Dalton year? Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot when the Bears tweeted out QB1 with Andy Dalton. So I forgot about that. But still, not everyone is going to be a captain day one. So I have no problems with it. I don't think it has to be perceived as a lack of faith or a lack of belief in Trey Lance. And I think that's exactly what Kyle Shanahan did. Kyle Shanahan came out and said, we believe in Trey Lance. We believe in him as our starter. This indication that him not getting the captain's patch doesn't mean anything, to be honest. Like he's our guy, but he's got to earn it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what football should be. Football should be exactly that. You shouldn't be handed anything in football. Everything should be earned through competition. And being a captain of a team in the NFL, that is, I think the 49ers put a lot of weight into that. And you look at the captains that are on this team, you look at your Fred Warners, you look at your George Kittles, Eric Armstead, Trent Williams, and Jimmy Wards, and now Nick Bosa. These guys take this captain's thing real serious. Like you listen to George Kittle speak, he talks about the tight ends as his room. His tight ends, like he has ownership of these tight ends. What they do is a reflection on him. And that's what leaders do. So I'm okay with Trey Lance going into this year without the captain's patch. I don't think that is an indication of not being supportive or anything like that. So, you know what I mean? So, I think it's good. I think it's fine. And I really like how they handled it. I think Kyle said the right things. I think Trey said the right things. And that's it. No more. So, if we're still talking about the captain's patch, well, then I don't know. But there's been a lot of stuff, coming out about this quarterback situation. I think what we're most excited about is that it's week 1, baby. It's week 1. We don't got to speculate anymore. We don't got to speculate. We're going to see it. We're going to see it in Chicago, 10 a.m. start time. Little participation. I did it again. Precipitation, not participation. Precipitation. There we go. I told you. Today was the day that I needed some coffee for sure. But we're going to see. We're going to see it all play out in front of us. We're going to get week 1. We get real football, baby. We get game planning. We get a whole kinds of stuff. Ronnie says over under Niners have 4 sacks week 1. I'm smashing the over. I want to see like 6 sacks, 6 to 7 sacks. That's the happy medium that I'm finding. I want to see 6 to 7 sacks with the 40 from the 49ers against that Bears offensive line. I really want, like how Note Boom, the Rams left tackle looked last night. That's how I want their 5th round rookie left tackle for the Bears to look against the 49ers, just completely overmatched. So I'm definitely looking at the defensive line to be a huge linchpin in this game and being a huge reason why they're going to be a success. So really, really looking forward to that matchup because I think this defense is going to play a big role in a win against the Bears. But of course, we also understand that the 49ers offense is going to be leaned on quite a bit. Kyle Shanahan talking about today, he made it sound like when discussing running backs with Ty Davis Price and Jordan Mason, he said they're competing. He said they're battling it out. They typically keep 3 running backs, right? They keep 3 running backs, or they dress 3 running backs, sometimes 4. And Kyle said it depends based on the running game or special teams. They didn't talk about that third down role, though. So I don't know. Do we see Jordan Mason active on game day, playing special teams role, potential third down back? I could see it because when you look at the skill set, TDP is a good downhill runner, but he's still developing as a pass catcher. I don't know if TDP is exactly special teams guy. I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know. Maybe Mason plays. Mason got added to Madden. So you know it's real. Madden left him off completely. But it does feel like they got him back. But I do want to ask, let's get into it because it is that time. It is Friday. We've asked it, I think, once earlier this week, but why not ask again? What is the score? What are your score predictions for this game against the Bears? Is it going to be a close game? Is it going to be lopsided affair? What do you think is going to occur? I'm interested to see what you guys think. Because if I got to look at it and I look at the matchups, I think the offense the Chicago Bears offense could be in for a long day. Again, they do have Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields going into year 2 is going to have a much better year this year than he did last year. Justin has a really good ability to extend plays and create, which is going to be something that he needs to do against this vaunted defensive line from the 49ers because they're going to be at his neck all game. So Justin's going to have to create, and that's going to put emphasis on linebackers. It's going to put emphasis on cornerbacks to maintain coverage longer than maybe they typically would. And let's see here. Practice reports, nothing crazy. Mike McGlinchey, full participant all week. Oren Burks, full participant. Dre Greenlaw was a limited participant all week, but he's not on the official report. So a lot of optimism regarding health, even with George Kittle. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But let's look at some of these score predictions. Oh, yeah, I like that one. 27-13. I like that. 23-10. Oh, geez. A little butt whooping. 38-7. 31-17. 33-15. 31-17. 27-13. 28-17. 24-13, 28-13, 20-17, 27-10, 27-13, 24-10, 23-6, 23-6. So kind of in the wheelhouse. Feels like about a touchdown, maybe touchdown and a half lead. Some got it as a blowout. Others have it closer than others. I think it will be a competitive game, though. I think playing in Chicago at 10 a.m. start. So 10 a.m. start translates into, is that like a 12 p.m. start for the Midwest? So that you get a little bit of the time zone change. I think that always aids the home team a little bit, especially like, hey, I had to go fly out to Minnesota this year and work off Minnesota's clock. That little jet lag, it kind of is there. So I always take that into account. I like this Niners by 1 billion. So we'll see. 10 a.m. start time, Midwest. Not the best. Little rain. Does that play into the 49ers' hands? What they want to do, especially defensively? Because if the Chicago Bears are forced to run the ball with David Montgomery and my guy, and I'm blanking on his name right now because I haven't drank in any coffee. He's literally a draft crush. One of my favorite players in the draft last year. That's how you know. That's how you know. But stay off coffee, kids. Don't get addicted to it. I think they could rely on running the football more, which actually plays into kind of the 49ers' hands a little bit. So I do think that it's if the 49ers get up a couple scores, thank you, Khalil Herbert. Jeez. Thank you. So I think Khalil Herbert and Montgomery, we're going to see a fair share of them. We're going to try to see, their offensive coordinators coming from Green Bay. So if you think about that, that offense is going to have some similarities, likely, to the way Kyle likes to operate his offense, which is run first, play action, those types of things. So the weather is kind of pushing it towards a potential run heavy game, which honestly I think fits right into what the 49ers want to do from a defensive standpoint and offensive standpoint. So I don't know if that's going to play much of a difference. We'll see how if the weather affects anything, if the turf affects anything. But I think at the end of the day, like it could be maybe a 10-point margin. I think it's going to be a 2-score margin. So if it was maybe, I don't know, like a 28 to 20, maybe 21 to 28, 20, yeah, something like that. Again, I need coffee right now. But I do think it's going to be about a 2-score margin. I would say field goal and a touchdown. The 49ers going to walk out of there with a W and start the year on the right foot. So it's going to be, I don't know. Would you say this is a must-win game? Is it too early to say this is a must-win game? Because if the 49ers lose, what does that make you think? Kind of feels like the 49ers have to come out of here with a W. Regardless of the way they match up. Just feels like anything less than a W would be a disappointment. So that's what the hope is. 49ers really limit turnovers. So yeah, seriously. With all the games we've talked, it's a must-win. There's literally no way the Bears win. A loss will raise a lot of eyebrows. And again, don't want to sleep on the Bears, because I think we have to respect the opponent in some semblance, but it does feel like the 49ers are going to be able to handle this. They have a better coaching staff, they have better roster up and down. So the hope is that they don't stumble. Again, turnovers can be the thing that changes the game very fast. So the hope is that Trey Lance, 49ers running backs, wide receivers, tight ends don't cough up the football. We don't get any snapping miscues between Brendel or Trey. No turnovers. If the 49ers don't turn over the ball, I think the percentage chances that they win are really high. Again, don't want to sleep on any opponent, especially on the road, early start time. You never know what the energy is going to look like. But it does feel like the 49ers should handle business week 1. Handle business week 1. Walk into Bear territory with the king of the Bears and establish dominance. That's what it feels like. It's what it should be. Again, the offense could look efficient, could look a little, up and down. We'll see. But ultimately, raise a lot of eyebrows if they lose. Some fans will be raising a lot of Molotov cocktails. Niners football is all that some people have in their life, apparently. I mean, it was pretty wild after the Texans game in preseason. I know a lot of you guys were here for that. So it can go a lot of ways. It can go a lot of ways. We just got to hope that it goes the way that we want it to go. So I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm tired. We get to kind of stop talking about it. We're going to see some game planning. We're going to see what it's like to hit some other team in the mouth that is not the 49ers. And I think that is going to be a great measuring stick of where the 49ers actually are. Like where they are with the offensive line, how's Trey Lance looking? What does the scheme look like? How does Kyle unleash all these weapons? I think this is the best wide receiver core that Kyle has had with the San Francisco 49ers. It's a pretty damn good running back core. I don't know if it's the best. I felt like, Coleman at that time, Mostert, Breida, they were pretty damn good. But I think this running back room has the potential to be one of the best running back rooms that he's had with Mitchell, Wilson, TDP, and Mason. Obviously not having Kittle, potentially. But Kittle is saying he's feeling better. So the talk about Kittle is more optimistic at this point. So that's good. So we'll see if yeah, Boomerat said the Texans postgame stream felt like it was a midseason stream. Yeah, it did. It felt like the 49ers had lost their 4th game in a row. That's exactly what it felt like. That was the wildest thing about it. Like we were talking about a preseason game like it was last year and the 49ers just dropped their 4th game to the Colts in a row. Like it was crazy. So you already know what the vibes are going to be like, what the energy is going to be like if the 49ers somehow don't come out of there with a win. But let's not even talk about that because they're going to win. It's what's going to happen. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited to watch. That Rams game versus the Bills got me just really hyped for football. Got me really, really excited that football is back. It matters. It counts. And I can't wait to see what these guys do week 1. There's so much talk, so much anticipation. The 49ers are probably one of the most talked about teams in the NFL. Think about it. Guys like Coward, Guys like Pro Football Talk, Sims, all the national media has had crosshairs on the San Francisco 49ers all offseason. We've been talked about a lot. I'm sure that locker room is ready to put the talk to rest and just play ball. So I think they could come out with some really good energy. Definitely punch a team in the face like the Bears. Rams center out 2 to 4 weeks. Oh boy. Again, 49ers play the Rams at home on Monday Night Football, week 4. And we saw at the end of the game too, their left tackle was getting up real slow. It wasn't looking good for that Rams offensive line. So now they lose their center apparently, and that puts him within the timetable of potentially missing the 49ers game if it is 4 weeks. So again, it does feel like right now, especially it does feel like the Rams are declining a little bit. They did not look good. Stafford didn't look good. Their run game didn't look good. Cooper Kupp looked good. Jalen Ramsey looked like just burnt toast. Their defense did not, they got Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald came away with the sack or two, but the Bills showed the game plan of how to neutralize Aaron Donald. So that NFC West, baby. NFC West is looking wide open right now. So good time to be a Niner fan. 49ers are stacked, relatively healthy going into this game. No season ending injuries in OTAs and training camp. So it feels like the 49ers are primed to do some damage this year. Again, might take a little bit of time for the offense to get into rhythm, but that's to be expected. Let these guys build continuity up front. Let everything fall into place. And I think one of the things that Kyle said on one of his, I think it was on CanBR earlier today, he said, we're going to find out what kind of team we have. And I think that's very appropriate. Like, you think you know what team you have until you face another team and you get punched in the mouth. Then you really find out what kind of team you have. So that's one of the most exciting things is we're going to find out who the 49ers really are, or at least get a glimpse into who they really are. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, Richard Sherman was going crazy last night. Richard Sherman was absolutely roasting Matt Stafford. Whew. I was there for it though. I pulled up some pop. I brought my popcorn with me. Enjoyed the thread. It was a good time. It was a good time. But what's today? So today's Friday. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Travis. Appreciate you always joining the streams. Need to get a coffee for sure. But it's game week. So I don't go live on Saturdays. Saturdays are kind of like the calm before the storm for me. But we will be fully engaged in game day content. Of course, I'm going to be posting content everywhere on Saturdays. I just don't go live on Saturdays. But we're going to be posting content everywhere. So you already know the vibes. Then Sunday, the storm arrives, figuratively and literally. And we are going to do pregame lives, post-game lives, reactions, content in between. So again, make sure you're following the SF Niners everywhere on social media, and we'll get you covered. And then I will also be going live. I'll be going on Cron 4 after the game Friday night, I think around 5:30 or so. So I'll be going on Cron 4 after the game on Sunday. And then we'll be doing 49ers live event on Tuesday, I believe. So appreciate you guys as always for tapping in. That's it for me today. We made it. I won't be doing playback, but Aponte will with the whole crew at Niners Nation. So if you guys do want to tap in with them, I'll be doing pre and post and stuff like that. But too much content to post. We got too much content to post. But appreciate everyone for tapping in. Smash that like button on your way out. Appreciate you guys. Next time I'm going to be talking to you, we're going to be getting ready for game day. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to